Hello and welcome to this week's Buy Local TV show. I'm Frank and
I'm Dwayne.
And last episode we told you we were going to go fishing in the great state of Michigan. And we're on the road, and one of our first stops is here at the Grand River and checking out some of the fishing here. And Dwayne, tell us a little bit about what is unique about this spot and, you know, what kind of fish are going through here right now.
Well, the fish ladder here in Grand Rapids is a place for the steelhead, which are starting to run right now, for them to move upstream. And, you know, the ladder was built for that purpose, so that they could, you know, migrate up. It's also a great place to bring the kids, great place to bring the family, or even a date, because you can sit here and just enjoy yourself. I had an opportunity to interview a couple guys that have already caught some fish here today. And let's go there for now, and let's hear what they have to say.
You know, tell me a little bit about this fish that you just caught.
That was a steelhead. It was probably a winter run fish. It was pretty dark. It was a male, probably 8-pound male.
And I noticed you did a little catch and release.
Yeah. I don't always like to keep all the fish, and that one there's been in here for a while. So if I take any fish, it's usually a little fresher one, and I usually just give it away to somebody else.
Okay, so it's a matter of just having the fun, but then if it's not quite the right one, you just.
Right, yeah, I enjoy being out here, and enjoy taking advantage of this river system, and just, you know, springtime. It's getting out from this winter blues, you know.
And it sure beats being at work.
Yes, it does.
Tell me, what brings you out here today? You know, I mean, it's obviously a beautiful day, but, you know.
I would say this brings me out. Beautiful day, great day for fishing. Fish are biting.
And are they just starting to come in, or have they been here pretty heavy?
Last week it's gotten better. Yeah, today's been probably the best day so far this week. So.
Now, are you one of these guys that kind of follow it on its progression as it goes farther up, or you just pretty much stick around here?
I stick around here. Yeah, they'll stay here probably for another month and a half, and then it'll be done. Back into summer fishing then.
All right.
Well, thanks, Dwayne, for those interviews here at the Grand. And apparently people are catching fish now. It's not the prime time yet for steelhead, but they're starting to come through. And to continue on with our fishing in the great state of Michigan, we also went on the road up to Croton Dam, and Dwayne's up there talking to a guy in particular that is doing some fishing up there. And let's hear what he has to say about the Croton Dam area.
Well, we're down here at the base of Croton Dam, and happen to run across a couple guys here that they're on their spring break, one from Grand Valley and one from Ferris, and you know, they couldn't think of a better thing to do today than to come out here and you know, spend a little time on the river. So, you know, where are you from, and tell me a little bit about, you know, why you like coming down here.
I go to Grand Valley, like you said. I grew up in Coopersville, went to high school there. Come down here today, hopefully to catch some walleye. I do a bit of trout fishing right here and a little bit closer to the dam and down to Pine Street. Usually have good success on trout, come a little salmon fishing, steelhead. That's about it. Well,
I know the steelhead, you know, we're getting almost to that time where the river's going to start changing temperature, and they're going to start making their way up here. And you know, you said you were doing some fishing down around Grand Rapids, was it that you said?
Yep.
Yesterday?
2 days ago I was down on Fulton Street, and I was actually walleye fishing, but I landed a 6-pound 9-ounce steelhead.
So they are starting to run a little?
I think it was from a couple weeks ago. She was getting pretty dark, and then my dad's buddy, he caught one I think 4 days ago, and it was been in the river for a little while, you could tell.
Well, we don't want to keep you guys. I know you're having a little engine problem here on your motor trying to get it going, but you know, might have to bring out the oars and you know, have your buddy there bring you up river. But you know, thank you very much for your time, and have a great day on the river.
All right.
Well, we've been on some of the rivers around this great state. Now let's head out to Lake Michigan. A friend of mine, Mark Crawford, he does a lot of competitive fishing. Let's head out to the lake now and find out what he has to give us as a good fishing tip.
We're going to talk a little bit about church tackle boards. This is the walleye board. This is the most common inline planer board that's used on the Great Lakes. It's made by Church Tackle Company. They're out of Benton Harbor, Michigan. It's a family-owned business, and they make these boards in 3 different sizes. This is the 12-inch. This is the most common used out here in the Great Lakes for pulling lead core, copper rods, and then what we refer to as monofilament high lines. The board's set up, it can be set up two ways. It's got an adjustable release, and you open it up and put your line through the release, and it's adjustable. And then the line comes back through this pull pin here. That way, if the board does release, it'll still be attached to the line and it'll slide down the line. If you don't want it to release, you run the line through here and either double wrap it or cinch this release down, pull the board in, take it off the line, and you're fighting fish. Also, it's got an adjustable weight, keel weight. If you take the keel weight, you can slide it back and forth. So if you are pulling, let's say, copper or lead core, you want to run your weight forward so the board tips in the water and it counterbalances the amount of pull that's behind it. If you're running in heavy seas, you want to take and run the weight back into a -2 so the board tips like this and it'll run better in heavy seas. You can run these boards up to about 3-foot waves and they won't bury themselves. Everyone needs at least a set of these in their arsenal. As you can see, we're fishing a tournament today, and we've got 6 of these out deployed right now. And you can stage them out, and they all march in line. One comes out of line, pull the fish in.
See him finning right there?
Like I said,
Nice steeling. That's a great steelhead.
Wow. No, we took a northwest there.
Yes, that's a beauty. Here at Buy Local TV, we understand the importance of buying and shopping locally to keep our local economy strong. But don't take our word for it. Let's talk to some people and some local businesses and see what they have to say about buying and shopping locally.
It gives us the opportunity that when we have purchases here, then we can in turn help out when the school or a church needs something in our community or artworks, that we can do that. We need that support from the rest of the community by buying from us so that we can help support the other things.
Sunny 97.3 has always been locally owned and operated. It's a family-owned business, so we understand when it comes to sole proprietorships and family-owned and operated businesses that have been around the area for years and years and years. It's very important to support one another, buy locally, advertise locally, in order to make things work as far as not only a community but also as a area-wide situation. This area has always been very well provided for as far as the inner workings, with everybody supporting one another. One business helps another and moving things along. Without that, then everything would come to a standstill, and it would not be a good thing.
Oh, I would say 3/4 of my store is all American made too, and that's something that I've been proud of for years. We enjoy being a family-owned business, and we love being in our historic downtown Big Rapids. And when you come to visit us, we can share with you all the wonderful things that our whole community has to offer.
At Buy Local TV, we are promoting Michigan businesses, communities, and its people. And in our last episode, we talked to a few people around Michigan about their business, and you got to know them a little bit. We had a very good response from that, so we'd like to take this opportunity now to go back and introduce you to some more people that operate businesses around Michigan.
My name is Dr. Bob Sharp. I'm a partner, half owner of Big Rapids Dental Healthcare Associates. We're located at 126 Maple in downtown Big Rapids, Michigan. And when I came to Big Rapids, some of my new friends were saying that if you need a dentist, it's going to take about 6 weeks to get an appointment. So I decided at that point that if somebody had an emergency, bleeding, a toothache or whatever, swelling, we were going to do everything we could to see them that day and get them out of their problem. And I decided at that point that whatever the technology was, we were going to keep track of it and we were going to stay up on it. So it's kind of been our philosophy of practice, and that's what we followed. Sometimes it's a challenge, sometimes it's a curse, because there's so many things going on in dentistry today. What I like best is that at this stage of my career, we're doing some things like with complete makeovers, where we not only change the way people's teeth are, but in the process change their entire personality.
Changing people's lives. Well, okay, in a nutshell, what Dr. Sharp has done for me has changed my life.
I am Pastor Doug DeBell. I'm the lead pastor at the Solon Center Wesleyan Church. We are currently serving here in the corner of 19 in Algoma, and this is where the Lord has put me right now to serve the kingdom work of Jesus Christ. We at Solon Center try to help people where they're at. We look at them and look at them through the eyes of Jesus Christ. We want to help them become who Jesus wants them to become, not who we want them to become. My heart's desire is to bring someone in that's never been in church, because that's where I came from. But to have an atmosphere here, to bring people in and to accept them and allow Jesus Christ to come into their lives and to transform them, allow them to be transformed by the power of the Holy Spirit, to bring them to the next level. I'm available 24/7 just because God is there, available 24/7. On my cell phone, I will call people back and make the contact, because you are important.
We're out here in Morley today, and springtime is the time when the maple trees start to produce the sap and they start making maple syrup. And we're out at Pat and Richard Hyde's place. And, you know, Pat, can you tell me a little bit? You're also a member of an association. Can you tell me what that association is and, you know, the benefits of being involved?
We're members of the Michigan Maple Syrup Association. We've been members for about 15 years. We go to the annual meetings and find out from other producers what they're doing, the new guidelines, new things that we need to be doing, and get enthused about the year.
Well, like with everything else or with every other industry, you know, education's a big part. Now, let's go into your operation, and if you can walk us through some of the process of taking it from the tree to the bottle. Let's take a look right now.
We usually start tapping the trees when the temperatures start getting above freezing, between 35 and 40 degrees during the day, and a freezing at night is ideal temperatures. And we tap the trees and you gather the sap after the containers get, you know, every other day or every day as the containers get full. We bring them up to the sap house, and then we dump it off the wagon, and we put it into a holding tank above the evaporator. And then it goes in through the evaporator and snakes around through that, and goes in as 2% sugar, and I'm not sure the sugar content when it comes out, but it comes out as maple syrup on the other end. Right now I'm checking to see whether we have syrup or not. This is what they call a hydrometer, and a hydrometer cup. And the hydrometer has a little red line on it that tells you when it is where it's supposed to be for syrup. We're not quite syrup yet, so we'll have to.
It takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup. As it's cooking down, it's concentrating, and the water is being evaporated off. So once it really starts to boil, it's going to boil faster and boil to the point where we can start pulling it off. This is syrup that has come off the evaporator, and we bring it into our canning room. We have to heat it up to 180 to 190 degrees. Then we'll actually fill our cans and put a lid on it, and there's our finished product.
In our last segment of Where Am I, we're at Mini Farmer Park in Howard City. In this episode of Where Am I, please tell us the name of the park and the city. The winner of this week's Where Am I will receive a free videotape to DVD transfer. Contact us at 231-937-5420. The winner will be drawn from all the correct answers. Thank you for playing. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Buy Local TV, where we're promoting Michigan businesses, communities, and its people. We'd like to thank everybody that was a part of today's show, you know, from the fishing to the businesses, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Buy Local TV.
To keep our economy strong here locally, I'm repeating.
And checking out some fishing. And you know, in Michigan, fishing is a great.
The importance of buying locally and keeping the local economy strong. I want to do that.
We have such a great state here in Michigan. The people that have